Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to the 12 Arvas. And I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you present here at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world. But a very special welcome. The Sri Narayan Dham welcomes the disciples of Sri Mohanji. We are ecstatic to have you here. Most of my devotees are not well. We had a marathon planning for an event that took place here at the Sri Narayan Dham yesterday and changed in one master stroke the consciousness of the world. We planted a seed of oneness practically, where a Muslim, a Christian, a Hindu, black, white, colored, Indian, ate from the same pot. This was an impossible task. In theory, we have stated all of this theoretically. Sanatan Dharma and oneness is the same thing. There is no difference between Sanatan Dharma and oneness. It starts from the Rig Veda, our very first scripture, and it goes throughout. Recently, we got involved physically in defending Sanatan Dharma. There were uncouth pastors who were formerly Hindus that could not make it in Sanatan Dharma, failure in Sanatan Dharma. They chose an easy way out, and for them to get a flock, they began demeaning our methods of worship. So we took a stance, a strong stance against these miscreants. We got involved in court cases, and notwithstanding all of this, those bona fide pastors have attended and joined in an interfaith committee so that we together can erase all these misconceptions. The Sri Narayan Dham projects the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Scientist. We are not practicing mysticism. There are many gurus that bring you to the Lord in that way. So I am explaining the science behind Havan, the science behind Gomata, the science behind dropping water every morning, the science behind Sanatan Dharma. That is my mission, to clear the confusion that exists within Sanatan Dharma. And whilst I'm doing that, within the parameters of Sanatan Dharma, I am also involved in protecting our faith. It is for too long that we have been trampled upon, not only here in South Africa, but around the world. And this is why I say I am honored to have you here today, so that my army can grow. My army can grow. If we do not protect the teachings of Sanatan Dharma, our children and grandchildren, or your children, I'm gone old. Last night I thought I was leaving my mortal coil. But your children and your grandchildren will benefit. I took 2 instructions, one from our Adi Guru, you see on my left, Lord Sri Ramanuj, and one on my right, Swami Sudarshanacharya Ji Maharaj. Well, obviously I didn't meet Lord Sri Ramanuj, he was here 1,000 years ago, and I also did not meet Swami Sudarshanacharya Ji Maharaj. I took these instructions spiritually. I do not know Hindi, neither do I know Sanskrit. Hindi was lost until we went for Guru Purnima in 2013. And when these drivers were driving in front of trucks, and somehow my Hindi just erupted. And I told these drivers that our taxi drivers in South Africa are angels compared to what you all are doing. Knowledge has been transferred to me transcendentally, as knowledge is not associated with language. There is a total disconnect. Knowledge means to know, and you do not need to know in a particular language. All right, so I've been graced by my 2 great Adi Guru and Siksha Guru, and this is why we are having the month of the Ramanujans. My instruction from my Guruji, create a divine society. An instruction from my Adi Guru, equality for all, respect all, worship your own. So I took this and I synthesized it, and we are here today. So I am a very practical Guru. I don't believe in touching head and falling down and all of that. I do not allow my devotees to wash my feet, and I'm just practical. I want the job done. I'm not interested in the theatrics, because sometimes our mind gets absorbed in the theatrics, we forget the mission. Also, I'm not interested in a following, either huge or small. My job is just to disseminate information. And we started disseminating this information some years ago, and I think one of you must have spoken to my chairperson, Vishwadhar, and he was surprised that all my discourses are 1 hour, and he said, Acharyaji, people do not want to read 1 hour discourses. So this discourse is posted and it is also transcribed. So I said, I'm not looking for 2 minutes discourses, but somehow my media personnel, she has landed me on TikTok. All right? So it's a very natural journey. Sanatan Dharma is natural because it is scientific. There is no need of being stressed. We have a loving God, and God would not want His children to be stretched to reach Him. It is our misconceptions that we carry in from many thousands of years that stress us to be with the Supreme Lord. I was warned not to give a very long discourse by Mataji and my elder son. In fact, he doesn't attend my satsangs, because my discourses are too long and he keeps looking at his watch. All right? But we have to say, even if we're ill, we have to say what we want to say. We are here because we want you to learn about us, and we want to learn about you. We want to integrate Sanatan Dharma within itself and also the other religions as well. Integrate in a sense like what we did yesterday. Tell me if you would have ever dreamt of Muslims feeding Gomatas and taking blessings. We have live footage. Tell me if you would have ever dreamt of Christians taking blessing from the Gomatas. We have live footage. Would you have ever dreamt of blacks taking blessings from our Gomatas? Now and then they ask me, they tell me this is a very healthy Gomata. They're looking at it in another way. All right? So, this is why I'm saying bye without any ego. And last night I was making peace with the Supreme Lord that if He needs me somewhere else, then I am prepared to leave, for I have planted the seed yesterday. Not only planted the seed, there's shoots now. We planted the seed in 2020. I started this month of the Ramanujans during lockdown 4 and 5 of COVID. So there was nobody here. And this is when I started this. And look at yesterday. It was a well-oiled function. But these things, you have to be empowered. You must have a relationship with the Supreme Lord. You have to be empowered. And the Lord opens all the doors. And now, so I explained to somebody yesterday that my mom, well, it was Mother's Day yesterday. My mom told me that when I went for my very first vaccination, and somebody told me that in 6 months, I'm talking about 59 years ago, all right? Then there were children crying in the clinic. And I gestured to her, I stopped suckling her breast, and I indicated that other children now, to stop them from crying, they should. I shed my mother's breast, but at 6 months, without talking. But she understood why I did this. And the journey has been hard from that point, long. And you guys are young. Don't step out of what you are doing. I only became spiritual at the age of 45. Right? You guys are stuck in there. Stick around. Don't worry about the politics. There always will be politics in every organization, and God creates that politics to see if you're going to stick around or you're going to put your tail between your legs and run away. Stick around. Mataji and I stuck around because we loved our Guruji, not the politics. We loved our Guruji and not the politics. I just want to find out from you, Bhai, your leader in Durban, in South Africa, is she the scientist? Those two sisters? No. Okay, well, from Joburg, lecturer in physical science, not part of your organization. Well, I think I saw her name as Lakshmi Mohanji.
Yes, she's in Ladies now.
Same person I'm talking about. So I had an interaction with her from 2015 when she was asking questions on Messenger. right? And just inform her that it was the same Acharyaji and give her my regards. Okay? So I'm going to conclude my end, and once again I want to express my gratitude that you took your time out to attend this session of our satsang. Thank you.
Om Bara Brahmaya Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohan Prachodayat. Om Digambaraya Vidmahe Atriputraya Dhimahi Tanno Datta Prachodayat. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Ramanujasya Charano Sharanam Prabadhe Ramanujasya Charanam Sharanam Prabadhe Ramanujasya Charanam Sharanam Prabhadye. I offer my humble prostrations to Sri Ramanuja Acharya, to Swami Sri Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj, to Sri Shyam Ramanuja Acharya Ji, and to my Guru, Sri Brahma Rishi Mohanji. I really am at a loss for words today. Walking into this space has been one of the biggest blessings in my life. This place is absolutely spiritually charged. And before starting, I'd like to just give my 2 cents worth and say that the devotees of Sri Narayan Dham are very lucky. To be in a space like this, you truly, truly, truly are blessed. This is only the grace of your Adi Guru, your Shiksha Guru, and of course, your Diksha Guru. So please make full use of every second of being in an energy space like this. Listening to Sri Acharya Ji, I really do concur that Sanatan Dharma and all of the sampradayas that come with Sanatan Dharma, like the Sri Sampradaya, our Sampradaya, which is called Dattatreya Sampradaya, have gone through immense, enormous persecution. At times it was persecution from the Mughals, at times it was persecution by the British occupation of India, of even systematic attacks on Sanatan Dharma by terrorists. And these were dangerous. But right now, there's an even more dangerous attack on Sanatan Dharma. And that is the diluted teachings of great masters, which Acharya Ji also alluded to just now. Great masters always taught in a very scientific, formatted way. But this attack takes their teachings and dilutes it and makes everything fear and superstition. And this is why I'm so happy that there are bona fide spiritual leaders like Acharya Ji, who is fighting for Sanatan Dharma, who's taking us back to what Sanatan Dharma should be, taking us back to what the great masters intended Sanatan Dharma to be. This inspires us to live a spiritual life. And I really, really do thank you, Acharya Ji, because this is so important, especially here in South Africa and around the world. Thank you for inviting us to learn about us, and we are looking forward to learning more about you, because in learning do we truly understand the diversity of Sanatan Dharma. So we represent an international organization, the South African chapter of an international organization called Mohanji Foundation. Mohanji Foundation was founded by our guru, Sri Brahma Rishi Mohanji, and we have a footprint in about 80 countries. Following the footsteps of Sri Ramanuja Acharya, our guru Mohanji is not just a spiritual teacher, but is also a philanthropist and humanitarian. Because that is one of the great hallmarks of Sri Ramanuja Acharya and even the Sri Sampradaya. The social reform. Ramanuja Acharya himself gave the mantra, the great mantra for Lord Narayana freely to everyone, even though he was warned, if you do spread this mantra, give this mantra, you would go to hell. But Sri Ramana Acharya ji didn't worry. He wanted everyone else around him to benefit. That devotion, that spiritual reform is what inspires our guru, Sri Brahma Rishi Mohanji. Mohanji himself is what we need him to be. If we need Mohanji as a spiritual master, spiritual teacher, Mohanji is an ocean of knowledge. If we need Mohanji as a friend, Mohanji becomes a friend to us, a father, a brother. And this is a hallmark of great saints. Like Sri Acharya ji, you can see the humility that he has. And you can see that he fulfills many roles in your lives. Not just as a spiritual teacher, but as a father, as a friend, as someone that you can confide in. And this is who Mohanji is to us. Mohanji dedicated his entire life to humanity. And humanity that is beyond culture, religion, skin color, creed, castes, nationality. Mohanji extends his love to all beings of this world. In fact, Mohanji says that his religion is non-violence. The mechanism is unconditional love, and his goal is liberation. Mohanji himself is really non-conformist. So although we are part of the Datta Sampradaya, Mohanji has been acknowledged by many great saints of many traditions. Siddha tradition, Avduta tradition, Paramahamsa tradition, certain Vaishnava traditions, etc., etc. He founded Mohanji Foundation in 2010, formally, and we started our own chapter of Mohanji Foundation formally in 2013. So we're still quite young. In the last year, our international organization had more than 350 events. We offered about 160 tons of dried food, raw food. About 65,000 meals went all around the world. So Seva is actually a big part of what we do. Our ashram here in Westville, which is actually very close to you, Acharya ji, it's just down the road in Westville North, above Reservoir Hills. We humbly offered about 20,000 meals last year, about 2 tons of dried food and other items that were needed during the crisis, like PPEs and sanitizers, etc. We have daily programs every weekday online, which includes meditations, chanting, kriya, satsang. So we are trying to be as active as we can. One of the very interesting things that we do on a Friday is we discuss Guru Gita, which is one of the scriptures that our tradition is based on. Now, our tradition has a very close link with Vaishnavism in general. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks about Lord Dattatreya and says that Lord Dattatreya is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So, Lord Dattatreya is our Adi Guru, like how Ramanuja Acharya ji is your Adi Guru. So we have a very close link to Vaishnavism, and that's why I felt very comfortable being here. It's like almost like a homecoming, like seeing your family. If I may, Acharya ji, maybe I could tell the story of Lord Datta, just so that they'll understand who our Adi Guru is. Acharya ji might agree with me. Sometimes there's one root cause to many problems in our life. And that's when a few ladies get together and start gossiping. One day, the greatest ladies of this world, Mother Parvati, Mother Lakshmi, and Mother Saraswati, were sitting together and praising each other. So Mother Lakshmi was telling Mother Parvati, you are the greatest in the entire world. You left the palace and you're sitting with Lord Shiva in the cold. What a great wife you are. Then Mother Parvati is saying, no, look how beautiful you are, Mother Lakshmi. So beautiful. Left everything and went to Lord Vishnu. And then Mother Parvati says, but no, maybe it's Mother Saraswati. She's so young, she's so talented. And look at the old Buddha she ended up with. So they were all busy discussing who's the most chaste wife. So that's when the problem started. So they said, there's only one way to solve this. Let's go ask our husbands. Let's go ask them who the most chaste wife in the entire world is. So they all went to Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. And the three Devis asked, who is the most chaste woman in the entire universe? Of course, the three of them thought it might be one of them. And they were waiting for that answer. Lord Shiva looks at Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma looks at Lord Vishnu, because who else is going to answer the question? Who else is brave enough to answer the question? So Lord Vishnu says, there's one that is so chaste, so pure. And of course, I imagine Mother Lakshmi's smile got bigger and bigger and bigger. My husband must be talking about me. So chaste, so pure. And her name is Mother Anasuya. Now all of them looked at each other. Who is this lady? And Lord Vishnu says, she's a human on earth. They got upset. How can this be? How can this be? So they told them, the three of you need to go and test her. Test and see how chaste she is. The three of them, nobody says no to their wives. The people that are married know that. No one says no, even if you are Acharyaji. So the three Devas descended onto earth. Mother Anusuya's husband Atri Maharaj went for his morning puja. And the three of them took the guise of Brahmins and went to Mother Anasuya and said, we've come to beg for food. So in Indian Hindu Sanatan Dharma custom, it's very auspicious when a saint comes and you offer food. You never let a guest go home empty-handed. You always offer food. She was very happy. She cooked this food and she said, please come and eat. But they had to test her. So Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva said, we've all taken a vow that whoever feeds us has to do so bare-chested. Now if it was 2022, that would be no problem. You would just need to go to the club and Mother Anusuya wouldn't have had a problem. But in those days, it was a very big problem. No wife would do that. So with her spiritual power, she changed Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva into babies. And she suckled them. So in that way, she kept the promise that they made. And at the same time, she kept her chastity, her honor. Now, Mother Parvati, Mother Lakshmi and Mother Saraswati were waiting for their lords and they were not coming. And they go down and they look and they see that their three lords are now children. Now from wife they became mother. They didn't want that. So they went to Mother Anusuya and said, please, please change our lords back to adult men. We can't go through this process of bringing up children again. Lord Ganesha and Kartikeya was enough. So Mother Anasuya changed them back to Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. And out of that devotion, they said, okay, we're very pleased with you, we'll give you a boon. So Mother Anasuya said, the only thing that I'd like is for you to be my children. And that is the creation of Lord Datta. Lord Datta for us is the formed representation of the formless Parabrahma, the formless God. The combination of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva together. And that was really the story of his birth that I wanted to share with you, so that you would know where we come from. So again, because of the influence of Lord Vishnu as our Adi Guru, our teachings would be very, very similar. One of the objectives of our sampradaya is to move people's consciousness from this robotic, mundane way of thinking into a very free, spiritual way of thinking through awareness. Being aware that you're more than just a body, that you're not a physical body. You're not the skin color that you have, or the nationality that you have, or the language that you speak. You are much, much more than this. This awareness is also shared by the Sri Sampradaya, and what Sri Acharya Ji is trying to teach all of us. That we should remember that we are more than just what we think we are, and connect deeper and deeper to that divine. This transformation from material to spiritual in both our traditions is brought upon by grace of our Guru. Because the Guru is the lightning bolt that joins us and God. The tapasya of our Gurus allow us to understand intense, in-depth knowledge, which would normally be very, very, very difficult for us to grasp. And that's only through the grace of Guru. Like Sri Sampradaya, we also have a Sampradaya that comes from Sri Dattatreya all the way to our Guru, Sri Brahma Rishi Mohanji. Lord Dattatreya incarnated himself many times as Sripada Sri Vallabha, then Manik Prabhu, then Swami Samartha. One of the famous gurus in our tradition is Shirdi Sai Baba, who came after that. Then Bhagavan Nityananda of Ganesh Puri, and then our Guru, Sri Brahma Rishi Mohanji. So this is the Sampradaya that we come from. And this transformation, this transformation that comes through grace of Guru only comes through a deep connection with your Guru. A deep connection with Acharya Ji will transform you, not empty rituals. Understanding the scientific basis of rituals is what will transform you, not just empty rituals. I heard one of Acharya Ji's YouTube videos. So it's working, Acharya Ji. TikTok and YouTube is working. Well done. I heard one of Acharya Ji's YouTube videos where he himself said that nowadays prayers are bargaining. You're bargaining with God. And that's not prayer. Acharya Ji said that the prayer is an outpouring of divine love to the feet of God. Not bargaining. We don't even bargain well. I mean, we offer one laddu or one jalebi and expect God to give us a Mercedes in return. I mean, would you go to a dealership and say, I'll give you one laddu, you give me a Mercedes in return? We'd never do that. We'll come break one coconut and think we're doing such a great thing, and then ask for a beautiful wife with long hair or a husband with a six-pack and a big bank balance. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It is connection to your Guru that brings transformation. Sri Ramanuja Acharya says that devotion and absolute self-surrender is the happiest and best way to reach God. And this is what our Guru Brahma Rishi Mohanji also teaches, because he says surrender and devotion nullifies our ego. And when the ego is nullified, the Godhood that is within us begins to shine more and more and more. Sri Swami Sudarshan Acharya Maharaj, gave great importance to selfless service. I even read somewhere that Maharaj gave more importance to selfless service than even remembrance of name, because he said, correct Acharyaji? Because he said, when you do selfless service, automatically you remember God's name. Automatically you begin to become pure. And this again is what we really believe and we follow in Mohanji Foundation. Because Mohanji says that whatever we earn in this world is temporary. It never lasts. No matter how rich you may be, no matter how educated you may be, once you die, you're dead. No amount of money is going to bring you back. No amount of degrees is going to save your life. The only thing that you take with you is what you share. Because what you share brings grace of your Guru. That blessings of your Guru is the only thing that you can take to you with you in your next life. And it comes from selfless service. To see Sriman Narayan, to see Acharya Ji in everyone else and serve them with absolute love, just the way you'd serve Acharya Ji. That purifies. So, to conclude, I'd like to say that we, in fact, are one family, truly one family. Sri Sampradaya and us. And we really did feel this love when we came to Sri Narayan Dham. It's an amazing space again. When I walked in, when I came in, I literally felt the presence of Sri Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. And I've only seen pictures of him. I've read one or two books that he wrote, was translated to English. I didn't really have much knowledge about him, but I felt him here. But coming down, I thought, okay, maybe it's my mind. I'm maybe polluted by the love and light group. I thought it might just be my mind. But as soon as we walked in, one of the comments that our brother here said was that he in fact saw Guru Maharaj in the space. And then I knew immediately that it wasn't my mind, that he truly is here. And I'm so grateful for you, because it's your love and your devotion and your disciples' love and devotion that brings Guru Maharaj and Sri Ramanuja Acharya into the sacred space. So thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate it, and we really hope that we do and have more interactions in a practical way going forward as one family. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Narayan, Jai Mohanji.
Thank you, Bhai. I'm calling you Bhai because my administration did not give me your name. Are you Swamiji? Are you Swamiji? Thank you, Swamiji. Two commonalities from your speech: suckling of the breast, and we were both born in 2013. Okay, two commonalities. Again, I want to put a request forward to you. When Sri Mohanji comes to South Africa, I'd like him. He does not need to come here depending on his schedule. If I could meet him anywhere, just make speak to my chairperson and we will make contact. He does not have to come to me, I can go to him wherever he is. Okay? Jai Sri Narayan.